Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 16 is entitled as Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga, the yoga of the divine and demonic nature. Sloka 11. Cintām aparimeyāṁ ca pralayāntām upāśritāḥ kāmopabhoga-paramā etāvad niścitāḥ. In the previous sloka, we learned that these people, the Asuric people, take shelter of desires which are unattainable and become absorbed in pride and false ego. Now, from sloka 11 through 18, Krishna explains their manobhava, their mentality. This particular sloka, sloka 11, talks about how such people thinks a lot, think beyond one's time period. In other words, they overthink pretty much all the time. The whole purpose of the scriptures that's given to us is for us to study and practice to minimize our desires, our thinking process. Thinking process is not bad, but what we think matters. If we constantly think about the material things, then that is going to be a destruction. But if we think about spiritual things, then that thought process is progressive. Instead of minimizing one's desire, such Asuric people think that the purpose of our birth is to desire. I do things for the desire of my children, my wife, my parents, my friends, and myself. What is wrong to think to fulfill one's desire? The whole purpose we are born is to satisfy our desire, or to satisfy others' desire, who in turn will satisfy me. Even in Ramayana, we learn that Kaikeyi was working very hard to fulfill her desire to make her son Bharata the king of Ayodhya, which actually was not Bharata's desire. Having desire, having thought process, thinking a lot is not wrong by itself. If it is directed towards the Supreme Lord, then it has its real value. If not, it is just waste of one's time. This sloka speaks about wrong desires and overly thinking to attain those desires. Next sloka further explains the means to attain those wrong desires. Now let's see the meaning of this sloka. Aparimeyāṁ, immeasurable or endless, about matters which will call for action lasting till the great dissolution. Pralayāntām, unto the point of death. Cintām, prolonged cares, that is, fears and anxieties. Upāśritāḥ, having taken shelter of kāmopabhoga-paramā, looking upon the enjoyment of sensual pleasures as the only goal of all this worry. Though alternatives do exist. That is, these people think the only way to be happy is to have sensual pleasure. But there are other means besides that. They have no idea about that. Etāvad iti, that beyond this nothing exists. Niścitāḥ, having ascertained. Translation: they believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, until the end of life, their anxiety is immeasurable. Some people who are in their last days entertain all sorts of desire. Now the question is, who is in last days? No one knows. Just because I am 70 plus doesn't mean I'm going to die first. Just because I'm in 20s doesn't mean I'm going to live 70 and above. Who can guarantee how long we are going to live? But their desires are countless, and the action required to fulfill their desires would take long time, perhaps beyond their lifetime, till the great dissolution, Mahapralaya. These people think that the ultimate goal of life is sense enjoyment, sensual pleasure, with their friends, with their spouse, with their children, etc. They are of the firm view that there is no realm greater than this, called Swarga, Moksha, etc. They don't have any idea about any of these things. They only think having sense enjoyment is the ultimate goal, nothing beyond that. Aparimeyāṁ, innumerable, immeasurable, cintām aparimeyāṁ. Their anxiety, their desires, their thought process is innumerable, immeasurable. They think of many things, and that many things further branches out to further things. They themselves may get lost where they started and where they are heading in their thought process, because it has branched out so much. In other words, they have a constellation of desires. How long their thought process goes? Pralayāntām. This has been translated in two ways. One is until their end of life, that is up to the point of one's death. Another interpretation is their thinking process to fulfill their desires and to deal with their anxiety goes to the point of Brahma's lifetime. That is, attaining their objectives would take actions that last for the lifetime of Brahma. Now, for those who are hearing this for the first time and not familiar about lifetime of Brahma, kindly refer to chapter 8, verse 17 through 19. Interestingly, even that Brahma doesn't think so much, but this person thinks so much so that it will take pralayāntām, an entire lifetime of Brahma, to fulfill his desires. One may ask a question, if the thinker himself cannot live till the Mahapralaya, also known as Prakrita Pralaya, there are four types of Pralaya: Nitya Pralaya, Naimitika Pralaya, Prakrita Pralaya, Adyantika Pralaya. For details, please refer to 8th chapter, Sloka 17 through 19. Pralayāntām here refers to Prakrita Pralaya, that is, even Brahma life comes to an end. That means this person thinks so much. What is being conveyed here is the idea that his craving will need all the time till the Mahapralaya for fulfillment. He cannot get a single object of his desire in this very birth. Why? He overthinks. Overthinking doesn't mean that he is thinking about his next 10 lifetimes. He thinks about this very lifetime, but the thought is as much as lifetime of Brahma. To him, the body is the self, meaning there is no Atma and Sharira. For him, both are one and the same. And he does not accept the doctrine of reincarnation, rebirth. Hence, he cannot even say that even if he does not get his enjoyment in this very lifetime, he can get it at least in the future birth, because he doesn't believe in future birth. This person may die any moment, either today or tomorrow or in next few days or in few years, but his thinking process is beyond his lifetime. Kāmopabhoga-paramā. He is completely convinced that the highest aim of one's life is enjoyment. Even when he is ready to leave his body, he thinks about how he has missed out the great opportunities to enjoy his life. So for him, while living, he tried to think towards fulfilling his desire to enjoy life with his friends, families, etc. This is illustrated through an example where in a garden which has a lake, an insect is enjoying the flower, not noticing there is a frog behind it waiting to wrap it into its belly, and the frog is not noticing that there is a snake behind it waiting to devour the frog, and the snake is not noticing that there is a man behind it with a stick to kill it, and the man doesn't notice Yama, the god of death, is waiting behind him. But the insect is thinking, if I get all the grains, the sweets from all the flowers of the world, how great it will be. The frog is thinking, if I get all the insects of the world, how great that would be. And the snake is thinking, if I get all the frogs of the world, how great that would be. The man is thinking, if I get all the snakes of the world to be destroyed, how safe and great that would be. Watching all these, Yama, the god of death, destroys everyone. He spares no one. No one can escape from his clutches. Why do such people behave like this? Etāvad niścitāḥ. Because they think this is the purpose of life, nothing beyond this. They don't believe in purushartha. For them, this is the purushartha, goal of human life. They don't consider life after death. They don't consider heaven. They don't believe in moksha. But they are very firm in determination, niścitāḥ, that purpose of life is to enjoy. For those who are sincerely desiring to get out of such thought process, to avoid overthinking, kindly refer to the divine qualities that's been explained in this chapter in Sloka 1, 2 and 3. So in this Sloka, we learned how such people have innumerable, unlimited thought process and desires. This explained the path, whereas the next Sloka explains the desire towards the phalam, the result. Cintām aparimeyāṁ pralayāntām upāśritāḥ kāmopabhoga-paramā etāvad niścitāḥ. Namaste. Hare Krishna.